Hey guys, Sean right here for Digital Muscle. I'm joined by the Lion of Lebanon, our 1983 Mr. Olympia winner, Samir Bannout. Samir, it's been about, 37 years since you won your title.
Yes.
In London or
That was
Germany?
in Munich,
Munich.
Germany. And it was West Germany still back
West
then.
Germany. Okay, and now guess what? We are moving into the 56th anniversary of the Mr. Olympia Championships coming up in September. We're kicking things off here in 2020. And of course, we saw Brandon Curry as the 15th champion was crowned in September. And now we know that it seems like we're starting all over again. It's going to be a wide open field. A lot of people don't feel that this is a title that Brandon Curry can win multiple times the way that Lee Haney and Arnold and Dorian and Ronnie Coleman. Are you of the same opinion? Is this a contest that could actually be changing hands this year?
You know, I have some positive and mostly, honestly, some negative stuff too about this sport, you know. Because you and I have discussed it before, you know. And again, like yourself and myself, me, we always looked at it as an art form, as a beauty. You know, the mentality of being overly massive is really it's hurting the sport.
Is Brandon one of those guys? He didn't look like he was overly massive.
I think he went to Kuwait, and the reason why he went there to get bigger and better. In my honest opinion, he was good, but he could have been better yet.
Oh, I think all the guys could have been better, right? I mean,
Yeah.
But the X factor could be if you throw a Phil Heath into the lineup, bring back Big Ramy into the lineup, the landscape could change, and maybe the title too.
No doubt about it. You know, I don't underestimate anyone. In fact, you know, I'm friends with most of these guys, but you have to tell it like it is. You know, last year, Brandon was actually pretty lucky he escaped with the title.
Okay.
He was pretty
Was he
lucky.
lucky to beat William Bonac, or was he lucky to beat?
Well,
Hadi?
Bonac was awesome, and Hadi was really ready. And personally, I gave the edge to Hadi, to be honest with you, with all due respect to everyone. But then again, you bring Phil Heath back to the pictures.
It could all
You know,
change.
Phil Heath is awesome, and you know, talking Sean Roden coming back, he's wasted. You know, Phil Heath, he's always in the run for the top easily, you know, for probably the first spot. I think Phil Heath probably couldn't do it again if he get his midsection taken care of, which is a little more effort on his part. But then, you know, anything is possible.
Okay, so since we know the future, anybody could actually win. There could be some guys coming up this year that we haven't talked about, including Patrick Moore coming out of Texas. The future. Let's talk about that 1983 victory, Samir, because a lot of people say you should have won in 1982 when Chris Dickerson won it.
Well, sometime I think the judges wanted to go by seniority, like they say, and you know, yeah, a lot of people felt I could have pulled it off in '82. But then again, you have the great Chris Dickerson, who has been there, done that. He's a masterful. His stage presence is so elegant. You have to respect that.
Did you have the same kind of feedback back in those days? Like Chris Dickerson won the Olympia. He was the oldest winner. I think he was 42, 43.
Yes.
And he had a torn bicep. I ran into that with Dorian Yates in '94 with the torn bicep. A lot of people were hanging on to that as one of the reasons why Dorian should have won the show. Did you feel that after the show?
I feel the judges should just really play it fair, not because, oh, I know Sean Ray, I have to be nice to Sean Ray. And I think the IFBB or the IFBB Pro League now, we should always look at the judging panel, always put some new, new judges and then make some changes, you know, updating the system a little bit and look at judging it. You know, some people are complaining about certain things.
Right.
They should always evaluate what needed to be changed. And you know what? I tell you, there's a lot that can be changed. But Dickerson winning that year, he was had an issue with his elbow.
His elbow, right. And his bicep.
And his bicep was torn. And, you know, but anyhow, I mean, Chris, myself, and Casey were like the front runner. Even Frank Zane wasn't at his best, but he was still really good. Some people thought I could have done it.
So when you won the contest, what did it do for you as a person, as a bodybuilder? Because all those years you were not Mr. Olympia. Suddenly in '83 you're Mr. Olympia. How did your life change?
that was the biggest dream I had. I really wanted badly.
I think everybody's gonna want it.
Yeah, everybody wants it, but I felt since I was so, many felt I could have won at 82. So when I left the stage, actually, I said, I'll be back next year. And really, I went back home and I knew that my next prep would be even better. I was more meticulous with everything, posing. I put on a little more mass. And still, I think I was even sharper in 82.
Do you think you were the first one that brought the Christmas tree in? Because that was the first time I seen it.
It actually, without bragging, that was my first pose.
Yeah, I didn't see any bodybuilder ever have that before.
Well, I was practicing at home. I have mirror in the back, so I was
You were
doing the
aware
last
of
prep.
that, okay.
And then I said, wow,
Look at
that looks good. Why don't you just pause at it and hit it, making a pose? So now it becomes the norm. Everybody wants a Christmas tree.
Yeah, I remember Gaspari kind of ushered in the glutes, the shredded glutes.
Yeah.
You're always going to be synonymous with the Christmas tree. But tell me, what was harder? Chasing that title and getting it, or then trying to recapture it? Because you spent a good part of your career, almost the same amount of time, trying to recapture that title. I believe you said your last Olympia was in 95, 96 something?
96, yeah.
So you weren't able to duplicate that, and did that leave a sour taste in your mouth, or did you always come home and see that trophy as validation?
No, I really enjoyed competing, although it is tough and difficult, but I've always challenged myself. I really felt I can take the Olympia back.
Yeah.
And one of the posts about the 1988 Olympia where you came in and it wasn't even your best.
Yeah, it's my first time.
And so I prepared really hard. I made some some minor mistake the final few weeks, but it was never lack of effort.
Yeah.
Sometimes we try too hard. But yeah, I tried to come back and get it again, and sometimes things doesn't go your
Well, no,
way.
sometimes you only have one shot to be your absolute best, and it happened for you in '83, much the way it happened for Dexter Jackson in 2008 when he won his very first Mr. Olympia. He's now spent the past 11 years trying to get it. And as a matter of fact, he's at the ripe old age of 50, and he's going to be competing in the Arnold Classic this year, trying to go back to the Mr. Olympia. What do you have to say about a guy like that? He's like the modern day Albert Beckles.
Well, honestly, he's incredible. Just the fact that he's so passionately, he keep coming back and coming back. It's all right. I mean, he was Mr. Olympia. And honestly, his condition when he won it in 2008, right? He was unbelievable.
Yeah.
He was smaller, but he was better. So now you and I learned that even Sean Ray, at one time you competed near 220.
Yeah, it was heavy.
And honestly, I thought you looked incredible when you were around 204, 205, right?
Right.
So, sometimes bigger is not better. This is what I always said it, Porsche versus Cadillac. Cadillac is not always a better car than the Porsche. See, so, looking at the slick body, etch body, this is what I was talking about, maybe looking at changing some of the rules and going more for the pleasing, beautiful look instead of just a massive look.
Yeah, and it does seem like our sport's evolving, but with it being our 56th Olympia weekend, if no one's ever been, what can they look forward to in going to Las Vegas this September to experience the Olympia weekend? What are some of the highlights that you still find pleasure out of?
I enjoy bodybuilding overall, and honestly now I'm more pleased with this classical looking body.
Classic.
Those are 212. They remind me more of yourself and Samir. Really there's no need to be 260 to be Mr. Olympia. Come on, even Arnold at 6'2", at his best he was 226. So we know that.
Yeah.
So being 260 was about 10, 12 pounds of visceral fat in your intestine, does not mean, you're better. Come on.
So Samir basically is saying that old school is better than the new school. Keep it small, keep it streamlined,
And keep it
classic.
simple. Keep it simple.
All
Don't
right,
complicate things, right, Sean?
All right, the lion has roared. Samir Bannout, Mr. Olympia 1983. We'll see you in September in Las Vegas at the Joe Weider Mr. Olympia weekend. For Digital Muscle, I'm Sean Ray.